Okay, so if you if you are on Discord and you saw the live announcement, you already know what we're working on today. You can also see in the Twitch extension, if you hover over the stream, I'm going to regularly try to update that week by week, so you guys know like what the current goals are for the game. Keeps me organised. Hiya Kira, how's it going? It's good to see you. Hope you're having a good day. Okay, so we will be working on player skills today. We already did make a start on them a couple of weeks ago. We have this little sheet here of all the ideas, and we will only really be implementing the first 4 for the first 3 classes now for the time being, and we'll gradually build that skill tree over time as we go into more dungeons and stuff, and as we get more classes. But that's 12 skills altogether, so it's totally doable to get that done. It's not too much. Doing fine. And you? I'm doing good, Akira. I'm doing good. Very thirsty though. No blue screen for a while, so that's good news too. I think I still need to double check the driver settings and things though, because it could be something to do with that. Okay, so I'm still working on the animations, the sound effects and the battle sequence actions for the 7 enemies. I'm gonna do those bit by bit over the week off stream, because it's quite time consuming to finalise them, and I was also doing other stuff over the weekend. I'm quite proud of myself actually, because I did a bug. It's right here. Let's switch screens and I'll just show. It was to do with the battle system HUD. There was a little issue where the info boxes of the players were like really far apart, and I didn't like them like that. I even posted on the forum trying to get it working, and nobody could help me, so I did it all by myself. I wrote my own JavaScript code. It's all here. It's easy, literally that's all I did. But it took like hours because I didn't have a clue what I was doing. It was all like I was constantly just typing in random things and seeing if it worked, and eventually I made it work. Someone who was good at code would have probably done this in like 5 or 10 minutes, but it took me like 3 hours. But still, I'm still proud of myself for doing it. Hi Neffel, how are you doing? It's good to see you. I hope you're having a good day. This is amazing. Oh, what's amazing, Kenny? I know it's been a while, but what your opinion about Legion skills, especially the 4th path, the Calibre path? Well, Akira, I had a look and I'm super impressed with all your hard work. We will have to narrow it down to 3 paths, because every single class is going to have 3, just to keep that same template. Is there a chance 2 of them can be merged so that we can have that 4th path? Like if there's any that are quite similar, I suppose we can merge them into one kind of specialist branch. But have a think about that, Akira. I really like your ideas, and I think that's an ideal direction to go. It's just like narrowing them down into 3 branches, I guess. That's why I said it's an idea. I do like that one. It's quite an interesting one. So maybe that could be a consideration then, merging 2 that are similar, so we can have that one. I'm proud of you too, Rose. Thank you, Zexy. Appreciate that. Not the best, I wasn't sleeping, but I'm glad I can see you. Yay! Oh no, I hope you get your sleep soon. I've had a bad sleep the last few nights, and it's because my sister's moved in and we've got cats now, and it's just been really noisy. But I'll get used to it. Okay, so that's done. All that is sorted. Big bug out the way, over and done with. I'm a happy one, so I can cross that off now. Also, you're probably wondering what the hell this is. I'll basically tell you. I'm planning on breaking the database limit. If you don't know what that means, basically in RPG Maker, you're only allowed a max of 2,000 skills, 1,000 enemies. Well, basically there's a limit. You're only allowed either 1,000 or 2,000 of skills, items, weapons, and at first I thought, oh, it'd be fine. We don't need more than 2k skills anyway, because 2k is a lot. And then over the weekend, as I was thinking about the skills in my head, I was thinking, we're going to need more than 2k. And I know that probably sounds utterly ridiculous that we're going to need more than 2k skills, but this is an ongoing episodic game that's going to be pretty beefy eventually as we get through it. And the database shares the skills of the enemies and the players, so that makes it even less. The 2k has to be shared between them. And the Everbloom Forest alone has already basically took up 40 or 50 slots out of those 2k skills. And if the enemies had like 1k and the players had 1k and we shared those skill slots between them, even 1k for the enemies wouldn't be enough, because that's, say if the Everbloom Forest takes up 50, that means we can only have 20 dungeons. Like, although 20 dungeons is a lot, I don't like limiting us like that, because who knows, we might want more than that, and it feels like we're limiting the game's length. We'd probably not just have main quest dungeons, we'd have side quest dungeons too. And also we potentially going to have at least 20 or 30 classes in the game too for playable characters, and that would mean that there wouldn't be many like skills that each of them would have. And even though 2k might be enough, I can't say at this stage it might be plenty. I don't like the idea of that worry that we could need more than that, so I'm going to break the database. There was a YouTube video and it shows you how to get more than 2k in the skills section of the database. Basically it's really easy peasy. So as you can see, the max is that, so we're gonna just make it more. We have way more than that. This is cool as F. Thank you, Kenny. Always have to make room for secret dungeons as well. Yeah, because 20, although it sounds like, oh, that's quite a lot of dungeons, it actually isn't when you think about it. When you think of, especially if you're making a really big, RPG, if you're planning on making an epic adventure that's going to go on for many episodes, you're probably going to have more than that by the time. Because I kind of brand this as a never-ending game, at the moment, because I don't want to, there's no end to it. It's whenever the time comes that we can finish it, because it's reached its end and there's not really more we can do. Or, I just end up, thinking it's a good point to end it, basically. And hi, Gio, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? I can make a bowl of noodles, not exactly sit down and make a game. That's my past comprehension level. Well, you'd be surprised. If you've got an interest in games and stuff, the determination and passion can take you far. I mean, I'm not very good at code at all, but like I said, I managed to write my own JavaScript code over the weekend. So much code. Hi Van, how are you doing? Depends on how long the dungeons are. Yeah, and it's just like I say, maybe that would be all we needed. Maybe the 2k skills would be absolutely fine, but it's kind of not a good feeling to think, oh, what if we do need more? It'd be too late. Well, everything had already. Because the thing is, let's open RPG Maker, because we need to do it now if we're going to do it, you see, because the player skills are at the top, and the enemy skills are at the top, and the player skills I'm working from the bottom. So if we look under the skills section, we can see we've already used we got to slot 34, but the boss is going to take us probably down to about here when we've done his skills. And then we also have probably side quest bosses or enemies that might be in this dungeon too. So the ever-blooming forest potentially could, like, you never know. Like, it's just limiting us if we have to, like, only have this amount. And for the play skills, I'm working from the bottom just because that's the way I want to do it. It'll keep them organised. I don't want to merge in the enemy skills with the player skills because it's just going to get confusing. So I'm going to start from here. I'll do warrior, leave a few gaps, and then hunter will go here, vampire will go here, and I'll think of a way to do it. It can be quite a challenge because it's hard to predict how many skills we're going to need, but I thought perhaps we can do it like something like this. If we like have warrior episode 1, then we'll probably have a good idea how many skills we're going to need, because we don't have a clue how many skills they're going to have for the whole game. So if we just think of it like, if we break it into sections, it'll probably make it easier. And then hunter episode 1 can go here, vampire episode 1, and yeah. We might have to rearrange things a bit eventually and think, we've not got enough space or we need to change things. And it can be a bit of a pain in the ass to move where the skills are because it messes with the whole game. I've done that a few times with the enemies already. I literally had to like move a few of them down and it messed everything up. I had to like redo lots of things. But so you've got to try your best to stay as organised as possible, otherwise it can get a bit stressful. How are you doing today, Van, though? Can you give me advice on what I should do if I have an annoying sister? Oh no, well, what has your sister done that's annoying? That's the first thing to know. Sorry, this is a new question, but will breaking the database affect the ability for players to run the game once it's done and being distributed? It shouldn't. I've looked on the forums, because this was discussed on the RPG Maker forums, because there was other devs that wanted to do this as well. People were saying that they needed more than 1,000 and stuff for some certain things, because I think you're only allowed 1,000 enemies. So you're allowed 2,000 enemies, but somebody wanted more than 2,000 enemies base at least. So they asked the question whether they could increase it if there was a plugin for that, and they gave the link to this YouTube video I watched, and somebody said, is it going to cause bugs or problems? And I don't think it will. It should run fine. I mean, who knows, maybe we'll find there's a few bugs, but if that ever happened, we'll have to just deal with it then. That's all. But all going well, it shouldn't be an issue. Obviously, before we release episode 1, when the time comes that we feel we've got enough content for a first episode, we'll probably spend a good month or even more. It all depends, doing testing. A few of you guys, I'll obviously ask for people if they want to do it and things, and people can offer. And they can test, and we'll see if there's any bugs, and we'll fix all that stuff and make sure it's all perfect before we release it, of course. Not ready for Monday, ready for the holidays. Monday's good though, right? It's a good day because I'm streaming. Learn how to code a bit, and I'm not good with all the values constants. Oh, well, I'm not. Honestly, I'm really bad at code. Like, it took me 3 hours just to write those few lines I showed. I'd say anybody else it would take about 10 minutes. It's all just a learning process, isn't it? And the good thing about this software is the code is very little that you have to do, because a lot of it is free open source scripts that are given out to the public that I use. So it's already written there anyway, most of it is. And if I want to make my own changes, then I will have to code it myself if I want to edit things. But most of the time, the scripts run really well, and I don't even have to mess with the code. I only did with the Battle HUD because I really just didn't like how it looked by default. So I thought, I'm going to have to mess with this, and it's better now. Happy now. She can't use PC, and she thought that I intentionally broke something for her. She thought you broke something. Just tell her you didn't. And if it's, you know, some people aren't going to believe you, and screw them if they don't. You know you didn't do that. And if someone annoys me, I usually just keep out of their way, Neffel. I suppose it's hard if you live together, though. Hi, Kermit, how's it going? I hope you're having a wonderful day. Diffuse a situation. Yeah, go about your business, and all you can do is say you didn't do it, and it's up to her whether she wants to believe it or not. Okay, so for now we're only going to break the skills section of the database. We might potentially have to break items and armors and weapons in the future if we find we need more. But the only reason we need to break the skills part now is because we are working from the bottom for our player skills. So it's obviously important we increase that. Otherwise, they're all going to combine in the middle way too early. So we'll make. Just question is how much too. I thought 6k. My first thought was like 10k or 9999, but maybe that's too much. 6k could be fine. And I think that would be well enough. 6k, 3k for the enemies and 3k for the players are way enough, I'd say. But it's just 2k. It's touch and go whether it would be enough. So I definitely feel safe increasing it to 6k. So let's have a mess around and see if we can do that before we actually begin today. And then once we've done that and it's worked, we'll do the warrior skills today. We've got the warrior to do, the hunter and the vampire. So if we do warrior today, hunter tomorrow, vampire Wednesday, and anything we haven't finished off we can do on Thursday. We'll see how it goes. That can be the plan. Because warrior's already basically planned. We already have a good idea what the warrior skills are going to be. So we'll defo start off with that one. We don't live together, but this week she visited us and I want to survive somehow without her arguing. Oh, well, that's a good thing that she's not living her forever. Being a worse situation if she was. I suppose just try your best to get through the time she's here. You can do it. And just keep away. Just go about your business and try and avoid interactions with her if it's causing a lot of hassle. Hi, Robson, how's it going today? You having a good day? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to shut down RPG Maker while I do this. And it's not going to take too long because I did look at the video and see how it's done. And basically, they just copy an empty skill. Okay, one sec, chat. And that's an empty skill. 2001. Now I can't actually remember what they did now. There was a trick they did to get the numbers how they should be. I'm just gonna have a play around and see. But I think they did something like, it was difficult to understand because it was in a foreign language. But yeah, it was column editor, I think, that they did. Initial number, 2001, increased by 6k. Will that work? I'll say. I don't think it has, because I think I've done it wrong. I might have to watch the video again. I forgot. Yeah, I'm going to watch the video again. It's only like 2 minutes long. There's like a trick to it to do it quick. Otherwise we'd be here forever if we did it manually. So let me just get YouTube up and we'll watch it. Just a regular dude that lurks. Thank you for that follow. How is it going? Welcome to the stream. Hi, Gamer Dash. Hope everyone's still doing well, gonna lurk while doing uni work. Gamer Dash, it's awesome to see you. And I hope you're having a good day and best of luck with your uni work. Okay, everyone, so here's the YouTube video that teaches us how to break the database. So if anyone else happens to be here working on an RPG Maker project and they're also curious with this, this is the way to do it, apparently. So we can skip that bit. They open, yeah, we got that. No, this is the bit I forgot. They copy an empty one and they, yeah, I know. Yeah, it's in another language, so. But I figured out it's the column editor anyway. So yeah, the copy, they don't do paste many, they only do a few. We need to do like loads, so we have to do another 4K. Okay, oh right, okay, so they highlight the numbers and then go to column editor, I see. Hang on, they didn't stay on there long enough. I didn't know what was going on. So yeah, no. Oh, okay, increase by 1, I get it. I did it wrong then. I think I understand now. Go back to this screen. I hope I will get 500 raindrops one day. You will, Neffel. You will, of course. It's a grind. It's definitely a bit of a grind, but it's very possible. And it's no rush at all, you know. We're not going to be introducing all the characters immediately. The characters will get released gradually over the months. Okay, so how did I... do you have to highlight the numbers? Oh, okay. I think you can just do that. And that works. And then column editor 2001 and increase by 1. And that should do it. No? Okay, so you don't have to highlight the numbers then. Because that screwed it up. So They had it in that format, didn't they? Yeah. They've done it different though. I don't know if they've highlighted it like I have. They actually dragged it. Did they drag it? Do you have to actually drag it? Because it's not possible for me to do that. Because they've all got it on one line and I haven't. Maybe that's why it's not working for me. That's the only reason I can think why it isn't. I mean, it works, but it's, you know, it's done it. It hasn't got rid of, I suppose another idea would be to do this. I was going to say I could highlight and delete, but no. I'm somehow gonna have to get all this on one line then, like the guy in the video, so I can drag it properly. Weird. Hi L1D, how are you doing today? Welcome to the stream. How is your day going? Damn it, there's always little things, isn't there, that you think are gonna be easy and then they stump you and you're like, oh. Because hang on, I'm gonna watch this again. Maybe I've done something wrong on the column editor. Nah, that literally I have to drag in. That's a bit of a pain in the ass. What happens if will it work if I just don't do that and highlight this and then do it? Probably not. I doubt it. Nah. I am not doing it manually though, we can forget that. I need to know how to get it all on one line, and then if I can do that, we're sorted. Word wrap. There we go. Just word wrap. But this is the weird bit, because when I drag, it does this. It drags the whole thing. But when the guy in the YouTube video does it, he only does it with the numbers. So he's obviously doing something to do that, and he's not telling us how he's done that, because maybe it's common sense, but I don't know the trick. Maybe you have to hold down something on the keyboard to do that. I don't know what it is, but we'll try. It's not shift. Or maybe it's just the text editor he uses. Maybe that's why it works for him and not for me. Oh, I've done it! I've done it. I don't want it to zoom in now. Okay, so that should be how we do it. So column editor 2001 increased by 1, and that works. But obviously we need to go all the way up to 6K, so we're gonna have to start again. Now this is gonna be a big one. We've got to just go crazy here, go all the way up to 6K. Oh well, we've gone way over 6K, so we're gonna have to delete some. Oh, that didn't take too long. I mean, I'm tempted to go for the 10K, but what if it breaks? What if I break RPG Maker by having that many? 6K should be well enough. So all we have to do is that worked? That's highlighted them all. I don't know, because when it goes green like that, it's not the right way to do it. It has to. Oh my goodness, we're going to be here forever going down like this. I'm going my fastest possible. Oh, it's fine. I'll talk to chat while we're going down. Hi, Lewd Melon. How you doing? Welcome. Hope you're having a good day. Welcome to the stream. Are you hyped for the Christmas? I am, because my long distance boyfriend's coming over to visit me for Christmas, so it's going to be special. Are you guys looking forward to Christmas? I like the name, Lewd Melon, it's funny. He is lucky, I know, right? What a lucky guy. Trying to get as good a day as I can. Hey, yeah, Mondays, I'm trying to make Mondays awesome by streaming, and Mondays are much better now. My streams are a blast, aren't they, chat? What am I doing? I am actually trying to break the database limit, because at the moment the skills section of the database only has 2K as a max number of skills, and although 2K sounds like an awful lot, I have a feeling, based on the nature of our game and how things are, that we will need to go over that eventually. We might not, but better to be safe than sorry, I say. So I'm increasing it to 6K, but I'm having to highlight all these numbers, and we got going down. There's probably a quicker way to do it, but I'm not the most, what can I say, well, knowledgeable person. So maybe, but we're already down to 3K, so we'll get there soon. I love Christmas and love watching Home Alone movies. Is that your favourite Christmas movie, Neffel? Yeah, Ultra Lucky, how you doing now, Rex? Are you having a good day? Thanks for stopping by. Every day is amazing, life is precious, value every moment of life you have. Yeah, that's the perfect attitude to have. But we're going to be done with this in no time. Once we've got down to the 6k, we literally just have to increase the number with the column editor and done. We're done, and it's going to work. Otherwise I'll be very mad. And then we can start the Warrior Girls. Come on, hurry up. I'm going really fast, I swear. Oh no, it's crashed. I know it hasn't. Is it crashing? Oh gosh, it went weird then. It's fine. It's working. I love coding. I just built a tool to help developers consume our open source code safely. Awesome. That's so cool. And guys, I'm going to say now, because whenever anybody in chat mentions that they've created something, I like to remind you that we do have a creative work channel in our Discord. So you can totally share your stuff in there, everyone. If you want to be in the Discord, that is. I promise we're all nice in there. We watch that movie every year. That's so cool. I'm not going to even tell you what Christmas movies I like, because you guys will laugh at me. Because they're very, like, sappy and romantic. They're what you call chick flicks. Discord. Yay. There's the Discord. I hope it's working okay. It wasn't working for someone once, but it's weird because it works for most people, the link does, but there's a few people it doesn't. It's very, very strange. Oh gosh. I hope this works, because if it crashes or something, we'll have to start over and do it all again. How bonkers would that be? But we're nearly there. Oh, we're nearly there. It's going weird though. It's not letting us go down now. Oh, it is again. We should be a bit quicker. My fingers are aching now. Okay, we can. I found a trick to go quicker. It's funny doing this and listening to this music. It's very dramatic. Oh, Jesus Christ, what are you doing now? Behave. Go across. Okay, I will be very mad if I have to start again just because it's misbehaving. No! Please don't. It's highlighted the lot of it now. It's my own fault because I let go of the Alt key. Is there a quick way to highlight this? Because this is just silly. Could we highlight it all by doing something? Select. Yeah, if I do that, highlight it in green, it doesn't work. I have to literally have it highlighted like this, grey, but it just completely, I ruined it, so, and I don't want to do it the slow way again. What are you doing at the moment? Hi, Storm Eagle. I'm trying to break the database, the skills section. Just one more skills, basically, because I want to be I just don't want to get in that situation where you're like near the end of the game or halfway through the game and you're like, oh crap, I've used up all the skills. And like I said, maybe 2k will be enough, but I just don't know. It's because we're doing both the player and the enemy skills in there, and we're all, like, the Everbloom Forest might seriously use up 100 of those skills, just the enemies from it, if we include potential side quest enemies and the boss. And it seems like that's quite a lot for just one dungeon, for just the enemies, so I just want to increase it. But Control A, yeah, I don't know, honestly. I did figure out how to highlight it, like that is how you do it, just a section, but it honestly just takes forever to go down. And I just want a quick way of doing it. Maybe because we've got find 2000. Just highlight them all, please. There. I think that's worked. No, because it's highlighted them green. I don't want them to be green. I want them to be grey. Because honestly, I'll show you why it doesn't work when they're green. Because this is what you do. Increase by 1. It does that. It keeps the number there, but adds the next. And obviously that's not how we want to do it. What we want to do is highlight them like this. And then go to the commentator and do it. And that does it exactly how we want to. As you can see, increases the number. So we need to highlight them as grey, not as green. We're going to have to just do it the slow way again. I mean, it's realistically only going to take a couple of minutes to do this, but it hurts my finger, and you have to keep my finger pressed on the mouse and on me up, but we'll have to do it. We've got no choice if we can't think of a shortcut. Also, maybe highlight the first one and then shift click the last one. Maybe that'll work. It might, but I feel like now I've already started, I might as well carry on finishing it like this now. There is a way to select it rather than just... Because my trick was doing the incremental select function and clicking select all, but it just highlighted them all as green instead of grey. And it does it wrong when it's green. But we're already a third of the way through. We'll get there. Shift click would highlight everything between, but I don't know what this program is or if that would work. Yeah, maybe it would work, Rex. You might be right, but I'd admit I'd be gutted if I cancelled this now and tried that and it didn't work, because I'm already halfway through. But it is this way is the long way in, and I'm sure there's a shortcut. There's gotta be, because there always is. But it's just, you know. I'm on bed weather, so don't have a high quality stream. Oh, okay. No worries though, Lude Melon. I'm very sure there is a shortcut, because there always is, but I just don't know it. And the program is Notepad++, if you're curious. It's cool. I don't know if there's better, but I guess I like it because it does the job. And it's quite, you know, it's not too... Some of these programs are a bit too beefy. I like that this is a simple one. Notepad++. Honestly, guys, don't worry now, because I'm already near the top. So I'm not going to let go now I've done this. But it might be useful to know for the future, because I will probably be increasing some of the other parts of the database as well. This is just the skills bit. Not today, I won't be doing that, or probably in the near future. But the skills one is essential for us to do today because we're working from the bottom for the players. But we're probably not going to hit the limit on the others for ages unless we work from the bottom as well. We'd have to do it. But yeah, we're on 2k now, so we're getting there. There is a find option and the replace option. Okay. Maybe. There's got to be a way. I thought it'd be the find, but it kind of, when I tried that, it messed up for me. But I'm very impatient. I wanted to, like, get it working in a second. And as soon as something messes up when I try, I give up. Not always. I'm obviously quite patient because I spent 3 hours doing the Battlehood code over the weekend. I didn't give up then. But when I'm on stream, I get impatient. Because nobody's going to want to sit here and watch me do this for 3 hours. Maybe we would, who knows? I'm sure you can write a line that changes the above values. Do you want to change or highlight shrug? Maybe. Do you know what regex is? It's a way to query search patterns. So for example, it's called... Oh, okay. Thank you, Loon Melon. You always learn something new. Find option and replace. Yeah. Maybe Akira. Maybe we could do it with the find as well. I mean, I'll have an experiment if I have to do it again. But I kind of want to get this done and over with as quick as possible. Hopefully it doesn't screw up when we get to the top this time like it did last time. I'm going to have to really focus now because I could easily mess it up. I think it'll be fine with us working from bottom to top. I think it messed up before because I worked top to bottom and it made me highlight everything when I got to the bottom. Plug-in macros. Yeah. Who knows? And hi, simple-minded. Only with testing it out would we know for sure. If you guys have got Notepad++, then I guess you could say. Who knows? We're nearly there. We're in the 300s now. I'm just excited to see if this actually works and for us to start the warrior skills. Because we've not done any player skills yet. We've been doing all enemy skills. Lumina, thank you for that follow. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a good Monday. We're nearly there. Look, we're under 100 now. It feels like I've been doing this for an hour, but it's realistically probably only been. There we go. Oh my god, it's worked. We've highlighted them all, and I didn't mess it up. Now, what we need to do now is to go in column editor and do that. Increase by 1. Yay! And it should take us all the way to 6k. Oh! 8,000. Okay. How's that? Oh! Duh! I am so... Honestly, where is my brain? It's at 8,000 because we started at 2,000, not 0. I'm so silly. Well, I'm okay having 8k then. That will be plenty. I was going to go for 6k, but now we've got 8k, we might as well have that. We only needed to do 4k then this whole time. So what I do now, we copy and paste those 2k that we've done, and we literally just add them to the bottom. We just make sure we do it properly. What is this? Close square bracket. I think that needs to be there, so we'll go above that. Just checking something. It seems that the last one doesn't have a comma at the end, so we'll have to remove that comma, otherwise it'll break. think that's correct. Save. Now we got to open RPG Maker and test it. So the database now should have 8K maximum limit. We'll see if it's worked. Rejects research would be the way to do this. Lude Melon knows what to do. Thank you for letting me know though, and giving me your theories chat on how to do it, because that'll make it easier in the future if we ever have to increase the weapons or items or anything else in the database. So we'll open RPG Maker now, and we will see if it's worked. Cross your fingers for me. Well, there's a bug already, I say. Look, unable to read. We'll fix it. It's just some little bug. I probably shouldn't have got rid of the comma. Or maybe the squared bracket shouldn't be there or something. It's all good, chat. We'll fix this. 8K might be better, more cushion just in case. Yeah, it's better to be safe than sorry, isn't it, Rex? I feel better knowing you have the extra spaces if need be. Yeah, nothing would be worse than having not enough and then ending up at the point where you've ran out and you're like, oh crap, and we're not even at the end of the game. It's just an anxiety we don't need. I mean, in reality, 2K skills is a lot. But because of the game we've got and how we got so many different classes, and how I don't want to put a limit on any playable classes, and I don't even want to put a limit on dungeons either, because we might end up going crazy and having loads of dungeons in this game. And if the Everbloom Forest alone is taking up 100 slots for just one dungeon, that's a lot. So okay, let's fix this silly bug. So what's the bug? Maybe right, what I'm gonna do is look at another JSON file, because if I look at that I can see how it's meant to be. I think I've just done it wrong, the format. So I'm gonna open the enemies one and see how that looks. So it starts off like that, null and a comma, and how does it end? And I'm pretty sure it's not because there's too many and that's why it's broke, because I swear somebody on the RPG Maker forums put in a 9999 to when they broke their database. It should be fine. I'm going to just check if this does have the comma at the end. No, it doesn't have the comma at the end, so I did the right thing getting rid of it. I'm just going to scroll up. I wonder why it's broke then. I'm so confused, because it seems like, judging by this, I've not done anything wrong. I'm going to just, everything's up here in this one, so I'm going to just go back to how it was. Right, that's how it was. So I'm going to save that again. That is like the original now. Oh, sorry guys, I'm not even showing you the code here. This is the original one, so well, it should work. If it works again, if it works now, we know it's fine. And don't worry, I have backed this up. So if I ever come across a problem and the whole game breaks, I've uploaded the whole project on my Google Drive. So we're good. I am actually going to hide that file explorer, because I don't like to, even though there's nothing that's bad to show, I just prefer not to show it, just in case. Okay, so seems like the project's not even opening. Oops, I accidentally opened the disc. There we go. But this is something we have to do because of working from the bottom with the player skills. We can't start the player skills until we've done this. It's silly, but it's necessary. My bad. Oh, what command do you after Akira? I'll give it you. I might have to check what it is myself. Do you have any link of the drawers? I want to keep the same. Use form for Legion skill tree. Oh, okay. Let me find that. What the command is, Akira. I need to double check too. Command. Okay, so it's player skills. So we've got the player skills. There we go. Have a little peek. Everything's a bit disorganized though. I've literally just put all the skills in the boxes for the hunter, the player, the hunter, the warrior, and the vampire. But we've only planned the first 4 skills of the skill tree so far, and I think we will have like a rough template eventually of what an entire skill tree will look like. But we says we'll wait a bit. We'll wait till we at least get to the second dungeon, because we're still so early on in the game. We don't want to like commit too much on the entire skill tree yet, because there's lots of little things to do. Okay, so I'm just going in the project, so it should open now, and yeah, it's fine. So this is the old skills.js file, so I'm gonna have to edit again. I obviously made a mistake when I copied and pasted them over. And I'm actually not sure what that mistake is, but we'll work it out. So copy and paste. Maybe was I missing? I don't think I was missing anything like a bracket. Pretty sure I wasn't. Just scroll up and see. Okay, so this is the point. They should be identical, and if they're not, maybe I just didn't add the comma at the end of the 2001, and I should have. Okay, I think I know what it is. It's literally just not adding this comma after the number 2000 skill, and the comma has to go on that one. So from what I'm aware, they all have to have a comma at the end apart from the last one, and that should work this time. We'll close it and open it again. It's always something stupidly simple like that, and I'm 99% sure it'll work now. Okay, it seems that was fine. You're welcome, Akira. So, fingers crossed, we broke the skills section of the day. We've done it! 8k skills are in the database now, everyone. That's the trick. Oh, look, I'm wearing a see-through. Should we sort out the webcam? Because I am wearing a see-through. Hang on, there we go. We don't need Discord today. I'm wearing a see-through cardigan, and we need to sort our webcam because that's not on. I mean, I bet Mog's see-through again. Oh, Mog's not see-through today. He was the other day. That's a little better. That'll do. I ain't too fussed. Okay. Woot! Making the database work. Yeah, so guys, if anybody here is, well, if you've ever made an RPG Maker project and you've wanted to do this yourself, now you know the trick. But there is a video on YouTube. It's only had like just over 1,000 views, so it's not actually a very famous technique. Because there are RPG Maker related videos out there that have like some have like tens of thousands of views. So this one is obviously a very, very sneaky secret. and I've found it out. Hooray. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to work from the bottom for players. My goodness, there's so many. I can't even find everything now. Right, so if we do that. There we go. So we'll delete the ones that were there before. So many. Started my game having career in RPG Maker, did you? Did you release any games in it, Lude? And thank you for that follow as well, Lude Melon. Sky Blue, how's it going? Are you having a good day, Sky? Good to see you. So one thing we are going to have to do now is we have to change a few bits and bobs. Because this intro, if anybody is curious what this is literally just an action sequence that the characters do right at the start of every single battle. It just makes things a little bit more exciting, and it basically zooms into them and it shows each of the characters doing a different motion, and you can decide what motion that is, and then it zooms out again and then the battle starts. Just makes the battles just more fun, bit less vanilla, which I like. And they're just there as templates at the moment. Those are what we'll be working on today. We'll actually replace those with the official skills today for Warrior. But we need to make sure we change the intro for where it was before, which I believe is somewhere here. Or not. Okay, yes, it's here. But basically you have to set up a condition on the very, very, very first battle. To make this work. And there is, funnily enough, a bit of lag. I wonder if that's related to the breaking of the database. Maybe it only does it the first time, because it's like processing it. Hopefully it don't do it every time, otherwise we'll have to be very patient for the rest of this game's development if it does that every time. My goodness gracious me, let's just raise this up because we've got a long way to scroll otherwise. Okay, there we go. It wasn't too bad. It was a bit of lag, but as long as it doesn't crash the program, I'm okay with waiting. I don't mind, but maybe that was just because it was the first time. Doing well, downloading Pokemon. Ooh, the new one. Just came back to the stream and I see you did the skill expansion already. I have, and I'm really glad. It seems like it, hang on a sec. The guy in the YouTube video, oh, that's because that's the enemies. Ignore me. I had a brain melt then. I literally saw the 2K and thought it didn't work, but that's calling the enemies, not the skills. Brain melt moment. We're good. It's worked successfully. So that should work now. The intro should work. It does seem like there is a bit of a, when you do mess about with the adding the skills, at the moment it seems like there is a tiny bit of lag, and I'm not going to get worried about that yet. If I do feel the lag's a bit of a pain in the ass though, and it's becoming a problem, I'll just reduce the 8K size to 6K. And I know that we like the cushion of the 8K, but we might not have a choice if it's too laggy. I guess it's about finding that that right amount that doesn't lag it too much. But I'm not gonna panic. It's okay. As long as the game doesn't crash, I'm good. I did, but it was through friends, so nothing too public. I have tutored classes on how to program in RPG Maker. Oh, that's so cool. That's awesome. Shield, I wanted to sword because B is cooler and the legendaries, but the Pokemon and Shield are cooler. Awesome. I haven't got it myself, the new Pokemon, but I have been watching Rex play it, and there's some really cute ones. Didn't even know he was a Sword exclusive. What's everybody's favourite starter and the new one? Yeah, I was tempted to wait and see if they release one with both, but not heard anything yet. The dilemma indeed. Okay, so right, we've done what we need to. Okay. And even if, like, say there's too much lag and I decide to decrease the 8K to 6K or something, it's not going to be too much of a problem to just change the position of these 4 skills. We're still very early on in the game for it not to really be a big deal. If we have to move things about, it would only really be a pain if we'd got loads of skills. Like, that would be very time consuming then. But we're still very early on in the game, so and I was even considering, I mean, where's our variables, for example? The switches and variables at the moment in the game are really messed up. They're not organised neatly at all, so I was kind of thinking of tidying up and actually organising the switches and variables. And because we're still not really that far through, it'll probably only take a short time to do that. It's better to do it now rather than when we're really far through the game. There's a bit of lag. Chat. I'm gonna reload the thing. I'm also gonna shut that down. No. So I'm assuming that the lag is related to the increase of the slots. But I'm surprised if it's caused that, because people who broke the database, loads of other people have broke the database and they've not complained about lag. So maybe it'll be something that'll fix itself, we'll have to see. Gonna pick the bunny. You like the bunny? I like the monkey. We're all different then. Sky likes the bunny, Storm likes the sobble, and I like the monkey. Okay, so I'm just testing lag at the moment. This sucks. Shall we decrease it to 6K? Shall we do that? It's only a little, I mean, it's not like the end of the world or anything, the lag. It's only like 10 seconds or so, but over time that could become very annoying if it does it all the time. So, I'm thinking of, let's just see if it happens if we have it as 6K instead, because I honestly do think 6K will be totally fine to have as a number. That is a lot. Probably definitely more than enough. So we'll just get rid of those last. Also, I've got to remember to put the square bracket back. Someone on the forums did increase theirs to 9999, I swear. Wonder if it lagged for them. I can't see us needing to really increase many other sections of the database, though. It's probably really only the skills one, but we'll see. So we'll just see how that goes now. That's some big file there. Hi Smart Bringer, how you doing? It is. It's like, it's a file that calls the database, this one here. And we're trying to increase the number. So, oh crap. I've just realised what I've done. I've deleted the warrior skills. We could get them back, it's fine. Probably should have thought about that before. But we might not get lag now. I'm going to test if we do have the lag first. It doesn't seem to have changed. If there's no difference, I might as well just keep the 8K. Seems slightly faster though. So maybe... Yeah, it's about a 10-second wait. And it seems like it's fine. It's just, I suppose, trying to go through that huge number. I'm wondering what to do, what the right thing to do would be. Because if we can always get that lag, is that going to really be a pain in the butt? Let's go back to the 8K. Because we need to get our skills back. Because we lost them. Because that was silly. Nice background music. Yeah, Final Fantasy music is awesome. A murder list. You probably can try holding mouse button for highlight and pressing page up, down, so the scrolling wheel. Should be faster and easier on the fingers. Hi Broken, how you doing? Yeah, it can be a pain on the fingers for sure. Okay, so I guess I've got a dilemma at the moment. I'm thinking, should I keep this increase in the skill numbers and have the lag now and again when we have to call a skill? Or shall I just keep it how it originally is and just cross my fingers that that'll be enough and not have the lag? I think as long as the actual game doesn't lag, I can put up with the database lagging, but as long as the game itself doesn't lag. But for now, I'm just gonna keep it like this, and if the lag gets to me, I will decrease it, and I'll just have to move the skills higher up if that's the case. And it's not the end of the world. We've only got a few skills at the moment, so it won't be too hard. But I do want to do some skills today. I don't want to spend too long messing about with this. So we'll start. We'll have a look at our draw IO. And remind ourselves what the warrior skills were. So here we can go on. I've got my window capture for this, so we'll look at this instead. Hi Val, how are you doing? Are you going to make the big town? There will be a big town eventually. We just don't know when yet, but at some point there's going to be. Maybe not in the first episode, but in the second episode we might have a big town. I think that the next zone, the next area after Lakefall and the Everbloom Forest will be probably bigger, but probably not like a big town or big city yet. I think maybe the third or fourth will be the big city. But maybe, you know, the big city, the actual big one, won't be until way later in the game. sometimes in RPGs, the cities get gradually larger as you go through. Vampire best class, you like them? You like Rose's class, yay. Vampire's fun, it's unique. And the good thing is, we do have a lot of blood animations that we can use, which is really cool as well. But the thing about Vampire that's interesting is it going to even be useful against certain enemies? Like, not every enemy out there has blood, does it? Some enemies, plants for example, don't have blood. Rock-based enemies don't have blood. It's only really humanoid enemies that would have blood. So I guess if we want to go for the whole realism thing, then Rose will actually not be very good against them. But who knows? There's ways around it, such as her finding an accessory that allows her to have it with those, or a skill in the skill tree that allows it. I guess it's something to consider. We're still very, very early in building the vampire class, so there's a lot of... Nothing is set in stone at this point how it's going to work. I guess this is why it's a good time to discuss it now. All this week, because we'll probably be doing vampire later on in the week. We'll do warrior today, and maybe hunter tomorrow or Wednesday, and then vampire Wednesday or Thursday. We'll see. But let's see how much of warrior we can do today. If we look at our... Let's have a look. So we kind of thought that these would be the best first 4 skills for warrior. Warrior is the guy that uses the axe, by the way. Sword and shield, or be the knight, if anybody's wondering. We do have a knight character, so that'll be, another strong melee kind of class, but in a very different way to warrior. So, adrenaline was somebody's idea. We were discussing what would be a good first skill on the skill tree that doesn't fall into any of the builds exactly, like a good generic first skill. Somebody said like something called adrenaline, which increases attack and defense by a certain percentage for a few turns. And I suppose that is having it increase percentage base keeps it useful mid and end game, because when it's percentage, it stays useful. But if you only have it set as a certain amount of points, then it eventually becomes useless unless the skill itself levels up. But I think 10%'s too little, personally, because I was thinking about... Because at the start of the game, the warrior's attack is only about, 8 HP. So 10% of 8 HP is well, it doesn't feel like very much. Not at the start of the game anyway. I suppose as you level up and get more attack, that 10% might be more effective. Maybe. But I kind of, for testing purposes, want to increase that to 25% just to say, and because it's only for 3 turns, it's not like it's for very long, so it wouldn't be too OP. But I feel if it was too little, people just wouldn't use it. If it only increased the attack and defense by a tiny amount and it wasn't even noticeable, adrenaline would just become an absolutely pointless thing that nobody would ever bother using. So it has to have an appeal. It has to be a valuable skill. I don't want any crappy, useless things that never get used, if you get what I mean. Sucks blood out of a rock. Well, that is interesting, it is. But I suppose you could call it life force, if you don't want to get too caught up with blood, or life essence or something. But at the same time, there's part of me that's reluctant to call it that, because Rose is a blood-based vampire. That's the whole point. She rain blood, that's where my names come from. So yeah, there's still a few little questions with the vampire, I guess, on how it is exactly on. And part of me likes that it would only be good against enemies that actually do have blood, because it's a lot more realistic, involves more smarter thinking, like maybe don't bring Rose into the party if you're going in a place that doesn't have humanoid or blood enemies, enemies that have blood. And the Everbloom Forest, I know it's very plant-based, but there is the deer that has blood. I think the deer's the only one now. But it's interesting. It's interesting. She can't be too OP. Maybe Rose would be too OP. She has to have some weakness. She'd be brilliant to take into battle against humanoids, though, or animals. You will balance the numbers later. It's hard to say now, yeah, for sure. But yeah, definitely at first glance, 10% doesn't seem like a lot. So let's go with 25% for now. And we'll keep the. I'm not sure. Hang on, Warcry. Deal 1% weapon damage, and I'm wondering whether we should have that or cut it. Simply because the shouting. I'm trying to imagine how an animation would work for Warcry. And the shout could definitely be a thing. But how that would make weapon, how the axe would come into it, I don't know. Like when I'm trying to visualise an animation. So that's the only reason I was kind of seeing it as just a taunt skill that didn't do damage. Maybe, we'll see. And we'll keep crushing it in frenzy as that percentage for now. Although, a part of me was wondering if we should have another skill that's for the bruise of the debuff build that was for the plants as well, like lowering 15% of because you wouldn't call plants armor, would you? They don't have any armor. What would be the wording for it? Fleshy, squidgy. Damn, my mind's gone blank. But basically a skill that would debuff plants, because we're in the Everbloom Forest. There's nothing with armor here, and it would kind of discourage people to go for this build if it's not useful at this point in the game. But it could totally be there, like say down here. Maybe when there is enemies that have armor in the game, but having like this have this as a skill for something that debuffs plant or squishy fleshy enemies, that could just have more appeal to it because of the enemy types that are currently here. Otherwise nobody's gonna want to learn it. They'll automatically go for frenzy or Warcry. But I kind of like making it a difficult decision. So that, Deception, thank you for that follow. I appreciate that. Hope you're having a good day. So I just think how to word that. One sec. I'm going to check something online. I'm just doing a bit of research. And it's just really, I'm thinking in advance, fleshing out the debuff bruiser build basically, because there could be different versions of this particular skill. Like we've got crushing it, lowering enemy armor, but there could also be like one for lowering plant-based defense. which obviously isn't called armour. It would have another wording. I'm just doing research to figure out what that wording would be. And same for rocks and robots, anything with metal, although that could be armour. So different enemies would have different types of armour, and I suppose it would be a bit strategic in a way to introduce a skill that specialises with whatever the enemy type is. And yeah, rather than have one for all, a skill for everything sort of thing. That's kind of an idea. I think that would flesh it out a little bit more, maybe. But I'm still interested in hearing opinions. But I'm want to find out the right wording for this. It might take a bit of time. We can go back to this skill. We don't have to do this now. So we want to get adrenaline working and the other two as well. It's only, we still got like a bit less than 2 hours of stream left, so we've got lots of time. And I don't think these particular skills will be that hard to implement. They're quite simple compared to some of the enemy skills we had, which were really creative and interesting. That some of them took forever to get working. Will warrior have only axe? It will. Every class will have their own weapon, and obviously that weapon you can get different ones, like obviously stronger ones from different shops over time, over the course of the game, or from crafting. I think ones from crafting should be exclusive to crafting now, because then it kind of takes the appeal away from crafting, in my opinion, if you can just buy the same thing from the shop. And what if he will get bored with axe? Well, he can't, because if he gets bored of the axe, then he's a crappy warrior. He has to love his axe. It's his job. Otherwise he should have been something else. Yeah, this one's an interesting one. I'm literally just trying to find out a good word to describe plant armour. That's it. Because if we're going to do, say, I like the theme of a word with it. I don't know about this, if this is a good word, but squishing it or something. And that would be lower 15% of enemy. I'm just put in brackets. Because I just don't know the word yet. I'll zoom in. But, yeah. If you don't like axes or warriors, for example, then you have a choice of the hunter, you know what I mean? So the player was given a choice at the start of the game which one they want to go with. I personally think both are pretty badass, so I wouldn't know which one to pick. But I'm kind of thinking of doing this. And have crushing it come like later, so I'll literally just stick it there. to show that it can come later. It's mainly, I've made that decision. I mean, obviously, I like to hear what you guys say too, whether you think it's a cool idea or not. But it's simply because the Everbloom Forest is very, very... It's flashy. There's nothing armoured in this dungeon. So nobody's going to have any desire to learn that skill at this stage of the game. And it just makes things a little touch more strategic with if having different types of debuff for armour and knowing which one is the appropriate one to use. You have to like think, you know, you don't just say it's easy if you just have a generic skill because there's no thinking behind it. You just use it. These skills should be unlocked with more levels. We're gonna have, I believe we will have levels. Oh no, what is this here? The skills will level up. I think on Akira's document, he's kind of got a little plan as a basic idea of how the levels will level for some of these skills, and Storm Eagle as well. It would just replace the current skill once it's leveled up, I guess. That way, some skills will remain useful towards the end of the game because obviously they'll lose their appeal. They'll seem a bit weak, maybe. But I do feel if things are based on percentage, they generally keep their relevance to even mid game towards or end game. But the percentage could gradually increase as the skill levels up. Like, for example, it's on lower 15% at the moment, but once you get squishing it and crushing it, get to level 2, that percentage could increase to something like 20% or 30% or something. I like the Frenzy name. Yeah, it's pretty cool, isn't it? It used to be called Anger, but we renamed it to Frenzy because we felt it felt more... It felt like just like a better name for a skill. Frenzy's a little bit more extreme than Angry as well. Anger. Okay, so and these diamonds represent stat boosts. So, for example, this one might increase strength by a certain amount. This one might increase defense by a certain amount. So that's going to be how we have stat progression on the skill tree as well. So it's going to be different to the traditional leveling up. We'll see how things go, but that's kind of the plan at the moment. Okay, so let's do adrenaline first. I'm literally going to copy what we've got here into the database. So adrenaline, and I'll get the description in as well. So I'm still like unsure how I'm going to organise this, but I've got an idea for now. We'll see how it goes. Because it can sometimes be a challenge to just keep things organised in databases, especially over time when you get like a bazillion skills. Things can easily get messy. Would be cool if both good and evil modes would have other skills. That would, it would very much add a lot more depth for certain. But it would, I guess that's something to consider. But I definitely feel the moral mode we've got, the moral system is definitely quite deep, even if it doesn't have changed the skill simply because it's very much based on how NPCs react to you and what quests are locked and what ones aren't, and that's quite cool too. But there's been a lot of discussion with skills. Like somebody even mentioned the possibility of combining skills. So like a bit like in Chrono Trigger, certain characters can combine a skill, like for example a warrior and the vampire might have a good combination skill that they can use when they're together in the party, and then the warrior and the knight might, or the warrior and the anything. And I thought that was pretty cool too. Even that adds add more depth as well, and apparently that can be implemented because I did ask. We'll see. These are all like very much advanced level stuff that we will be considering at another point, because all we're going to do for now is the first 12. Otherwise we could potentially spend the next year on the battle system and skill mechanics alone. Okay, so I'm getting these in, and this is the last warrior one for now. Squishing it, that's it. But I do like crushing it, and I'm still not sure about the squishing it name. I might look in what other words are similar to that. There might be a better one. I'll have a look. I don't like the plant armor wording at all. There's definitely going to be a better word than that. Fine, squishing. Squish. Okay, so what other definitions have we got for that? Doesn't seem like there is any nonsense. There've got to be other words. Squelch. We could even, I mean, this is just an idea, let's call it squish it and crush it. Because that in at the end, it might not work with some words. I don't know if squishing sounds right. This is something you'll have to let me know, chat. But that kind of work sounds better. But we'll see. We'll go for that for now. Lord Melon, lower 15% of plants defense, 15% more damage to plants. Okay, so we could literally just call it plant defense. We don't have to be specific and think of an intelligent word or anything. That sounds like a smart idea, actually, Lord Melon. And so it would you reckon it should also give 15% more damage to plants as well as an addition to lowering it? I just want to make sure I've got that and understood properly. So we'll be implementing those skills very shortly. It was another example. Plants don't really have armor, I guess. No, exactly. And that's why crushing it didn't work. Because the way that description's written, 15% and lower 15% of enemy armor. It was like, well, plants don't have armor. So really crushing it would be for armored enemies. So that could be worded as that. Maybe I don't know if that is the right wording, but maybe that will do for now. So I'll just change this, 50% of plant defense. Put defense in. Because I kind of really want to make sure the wording's kept consistent. For now, that'll do. And there is, I know, right? It would be completely wacky, but interesting. Who knows? Maybe that'll be a thing in another time. Maybe we'll have armor. Who knows? I haven't even given a thought to who that first boss is going to be yet. But whenever the stream comes and we do the boss stream, we'll scour the assets that are there and pick a bunch of the most interesting and appropriate looking ones, and we'll do a vote, and whatever tops that vote will officially be the one that will be the first boss. It'll be very exciting, and all going well, next week will be the time we do that. So this one, for example, this squish it attack, we're gonna have to do a little bit of battle testing to see what works out best, of course, but for now we'll just get the basic attack working for all of these, and we'll do some testing, and we'll increase the figures, change them, make them a little bit different if we feel they have to be, but for now we'll use these as a base. So we've got them in, and I'm going to word this as I'm going to just call it episode 1, because I can see episode 1 maybe having about, I'm not sure, no more than 12 skills, that's for sure. So there might even have less, and then in episode 2 there'll be more skills available. So that's kind of how I'm probably going to do, because it's really hard to predict how many in the entire game Warrior's going to have at this point, and I could be really off, and if we were like to say put Hunter up here, we might come into trouble later on and find out we've not got enough skills. So it could be a little bit risky to do it like that. So I'm going to split it into episodes, because it's more doable that way, and it might get a bit messy because there'll be a bunch of different warriors for different episodes, but it's okay. I think that could, as long as we keep it organized somewhat, we'll say. So Hunter, I think that's too high up for Hunter, of course. We'll do it so there's 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that allows room for 12 skills for Warrior in episode 1, and some would even level up, but I couldn't see them learning the level 2 versions of the skills until episode 2, perhaps. And 12 might be too many, but better to leave more spaces than not enough. And then the vampire we can put here. And those are the only classes that have been introduced so far. So if we do get another class join us very shortly in the story, we can put them here, because there might very well be another class that gets introduced at some point in the near future. Who knows which one though yet? How many episodes you plan to do? It's very difficult to say at this stage, because it's one of those projects that we're kind of just doing like until we get to a point that we feel is a good time to end the game. But as an estimate, I'd say somewhere between 4 and 6 episodes maybe. It could be less, it could be more. But I kind of see that as a reasonable amount, but who knows? And maybe some episodes might have more content in than others, but I kind of want to keep the playtime the same. So however long episode 1 is, consistently keep the episodes around the same length, but we'll see. I do want episode 1 to not be too short. I want it to be decent. So I don't want to rush the release too fast just to get something out there. I want it to be at a good point. And definitely all the Everbloom Forest stuff will be in episode 1 and potentially the zone after. And maybe when we get to the 3rd zone, that will be a good point to have episode 2 begin. I think 2 zones, especially if those zones are really fleshed out with lots of side quests in them, could be enough content, but we'll see. That's just like a basic idea at the moment. Things could potentially be changed if necessary. Hi Muffin Man, so how's it going? Thank you for posting your cute little pets in your adorable pet channel. In my adorable pet channel, I mean. Let's have a little look again, because it was cute. We do have an adorable pet channel, everyone. I will remind you again. Look at this doggo. He's playing. Ooh, we have some new peoples in the Discord. Welcome, Kenny and Sleepy Melon. We got has Kenny joined twice? Okay, so I'm going to say hi because I like to welcome people. Because I'm nice. Okay, so back to the game. So I've just popped those 2 there just so we got an idea where their skills will be. So we're only going to be doing the first 4 of each for now. And by the time we get to the 2nd dungeon, we'll add more skills for this classes. And we already know what the warriors 4 are. But we're still not 100% sure of them for Hunter and Vampire, but we do have a lot of skill ideas for those 2. It's just knowing which ones will make the ideal first skills. We don't want them to be too OP too early on. So apply. So let's actually get these working now. That's the next job, and then once we've done that, we will do battle tests, see if they work, add some cool animations and sound effects as well. But it's a bit less work for the players in terms of animations and sound effects, just because there's a bit less skills. Whereas for the enemy skills, we had quite a few. Like there's quite a lot here. There's probably like double the enemy skills that there is for player skills. I want to start writing, but my English is not that good. Oh God, you should totally go for it, Nethel. And even if you write a story in your first language, if that made you feel more comfortable, Nethel. But don't let that stop you. I'm sure you can do a much better job than you think. Sits and wait for her to say hi. Who, me? Hi, Specky. 25% for free turns is just 75% though. Does that make it more worth to just use the attack skill instead? Yeah, one thing we need to make sure with adrenaline is that it is properly balanced. And this might not be exactly ideal but we can always change it. But I think what we had in mind was it was 25% for free turns, not where it would increase, if you know what I mean. I hope that makes sense, but it would only last that extra 25% for free turns, and then it would go back to the normal attack and defense. It wouldn't go 25, 50, 75. It would just be 25 for free turns. That was kind of what I think was the vision for the skill, but I don't even know if the 25% is the right number yet. We can always alter that if we think it's not OP enough, or if it's too OP. We don't know until we test it. But the main thing is with adrenaline, I do want it to be a skill that is useful. I don't want it to be one of them skills that nobody bothers using because they're like, well, it's pointless. We might as well just attack. Because that's a shame. We want it to be quite useful. We don't want it to be OP, of course, but we don't want it to be useless either. It's about getting that right balance. So we'll defo make sure we can do that. Oh, it gives defense too, so might be good, yeah. So it's not just attack, it's defense as well, which we made that decision because we didn't want it to be too focused on being, let's get it up. Let's get our little thing. We didn't want it to be too much DPS focused as a skill, because if it was just an increase in attack, it would be a very DPS build, this champion one. We wanted it to like be a very generic type of skill that could fit in either of the builds, so that's why we added the defense buff too, because that could potentially also fit in with the tank build. Because that first skill, every class is going to have a first skill that they have before they decide their build, and it's nice to have it be something quite generic rather than as a starter, I guess, because it can be a bit overwhelming to have to choose your build immediately. But then you start getting the choice. But we're not going to like lock anything. I don't think, like, if you decide to go for a DPS build, you can also go for the others too. But obviously it wouldn't make you as much of a specialism, because some people might want to only go for champion and get more, and some might want to do bits of each. But we'll say that's kind of just an idea, but like I say, nothing's set in stone. We might start making some skills and think, actually, we'll change things and do it like this instead. But that's our basic idea so far. Hi Elite, how are you doing today? Finally here for real. How are you doing today? We're getting the warrior skills implemented at the moment. We did change one thing, the one called Crush It. We're still going to have the Crush It one, but we're going to introduce it later in the debuff tree, I believe, because I figured having the Squish It one would be more relevant to the Everbloom Forest, being as that it's a very plant-based zone of the game, and it would kind of encourage people to go for that skill more, because the enemies are very relevant. Whereas the Crush It one was very much focused towards armoured enemies, and we don't have any of those yet. So we will have that Crush It one later on. That's kind of our idea at the moment. Without buff, 100 damage. Oh my goodness, Specky, you genius. You know all the numbers. So as a DPS skill, it's a DPS down, but as a tank, it's still awesome. Wow, I must admit I don't have a talent for numbers, so I'm one of these people that have to do the play tests before knowing how to balance. This is my weakest area of game making. When it comes to the numbers and all that thing, it's where I'm a little bit weaker, but you have to go out of your comfort zone sometimes, don't you? But I'm glad to have pros in chat that actually do know what they're doing when it comes to numbers. You like balancing. Yeah, well, I'm glad. This is why doing a community game is really fun, because people who, in areas I'm not as good at, people can like give me some tips and stuff. It's fun. Dava, how are you doing? It's so good to see you. I hope you're having a good day. There's also some HP recovering enemies at the beginning, so that extra 25% damage boost turns a lot of enemies into, instead of, yeah, and that's very truly, we've got that horrible flower, haven't we, that uses aromatherapy on the bees, and that battle is a tough one. So for sure. And I completely keep forgetting about the enemy skills, and that's a good point to raise about how the enemies work, because it can completely change how the player's skills work based on what they're fighting. So it's a good thing to consider how they work together. Good against the queen bee who summons ads. Yeah, for sure. And we're going to be doing the battle as we make these skills and do the testing in battles to see if the numbers are good and the balancing is okay. We'll obviously we'll have to take everything into account and see if things seem OP or underpowered against those enemies, and make a few changes if we have to in numbers. The good thing about balancing and changing the numbers, it's easy. Once you've got the skill implemented and it works, the number changing is the easy part, but it's actually getting the skill to work that's the first task, I guess. I kind of want to save the actual balancing till last, so that we can focus fully on implementing the skill first and getting the animation and sound effects, all those snazzy bits done, and then the balancing can come after that. Because at the moment I haven't even got Jesus, the custom hero I've made, equipped with armour. So it's all very flawed at the moment, the battle system, because he's not even armoured up. So we'll have to give him some armour. He's got his axe now at least. We'll have to just equip him some armour and get that set up properly, because he'll obviously start the game, or she, if you pick a lady as your custom hero, they'll obviously start with some very, very basic armour equipped in their basic first weapon. What kind of warrior wouldn't be armoured up? Oh, that would be a silly warrior. Who summoned me with mathematics? Oh my god, do you like maths, Dava? About getting the right amount of damage, not always the most. Queen bee is the best. I think the queen bee is stronger than Jesus. Oh no, that's not good. The queen bee can't be OP. I do like that we got challenging battles though. I'm really happy with what we've got for our enemies. They're not boring. This is no like attack mash game. There is actually a bit of strategy behind some of the battles, which I'm pleased with for sure. A poem by Queen Bee. Would be cool if you could get items with bonuses to certain skills, like extra adrenaline damage, or if it's a tank item, increased defense from adrenaline. Oh yes, items. And that's an interesting thing to bring up, because we have not talked about items at all yet. Like items, we have none. These are the default ones that we'll obviously be deleting. I want to kind of delete them now, but I'll keep them there for now because they're there as a template. But I'd say once we've done the first boss, we will have an item stream, maybe a couple of item streams, because I think that will be a good point to start considering the items, because we can think about the rewards from the boss and all the rewards from the enemies, and also the items that are on the field as well, because that will need potions, we'll need antidotes to heal the poison, because we do get a poison state effect from the toxic plant. So, but we're not going to call them antidotes or potions. We'll give them their own unique Raindrop Chronicle themed names. So that'll be fun. We'll have a creative naming stream for items, and we have like briefly discussed a potential accessory that can drop from the big tray called Protective Pancake. That's one item we've sort of discussed. But yeah, there's a lot of discussion we've got to have with items, so it'll be fun. Definitely a very important thing to do. I love items. Yeah, so all going well. If we don't have it next week, the item stream, it will be the first week in December probably. We'll see how it goes, because next we're kind of planning for the rest of this week to finish the skills. All we have to do is implement the warriors, the hunters and the vampires, just the first 4, and get the balancing working, get the animations, some good sound effects. But I'm kind of going to be doing the animations and sound effect stuff probably mainly off stream, but on stream I'll actually be doing the skill implementation. and stuff. If we get time, like if we get extra time, we can do the animations and stuff then, but mostly I want to get the skills working first. And then, so once the skills are done, it'll be first boss time in the next part of the story, because obviously there'll be a bit of a cutscene with that boss. It's not going to just be the boss and that's it. There'll be a bit of story and dialogue with it, and we'll find out what happens to Rose, because the whole point of the story at the moment is that she's going to be sacrificed to this boss, and she's not going to die because she's important, but something will happen. We'll have to see what. There'll be a submission. You guys all submit your ideas, and whatever gets the most votes will be the one that wins it. And that'll be next week as well. So once we've got that part out of the way, the boss and the next part of the story, that can be when we think about the items. I think that'll be a good time then. And then side quests of the Lakefall and Everbloom Forest. And that'll probably take a bit of time up doing those. I want to spend a lot of time working on side quests. Items will change the balance too, yeah. So maybe things like balancing aren't going to be set in stone until a while. So when we do battle testing, kind of just ignore how OP everything is, or how because at the moment the enemies are hitting with 0 a lot of the time, and I'm not really like paying attention to that, because I know I've got to get Jesus his armor first before we start working on that. But all the skills for the enemies work successfully, and that's good, because some of them are super creative, and I was wondering if it was going to be possible to implement some of them, but it worked. We've done them. Will there be a thief rogue style class? Ooh, Specky. Well, I have a command as well, and thank you, Elite, for using that project command. I appreciate you. So player skills, that should link to our draw.io file. You will have to open it in draw.io to see it in best quality, or download it. I think it might let you, but we have on the side all the classes that are planned for the game. There's a lot, like there's about 30. So yeah, there's and rogue, ninja, assassin, I think that's there. I think it's called assassin, I think we've called it. And there's a thief as well. Assassin and thief are 2 different classes, so yeah, both of them are there. We're trying to have them all. We're trying to have a very varied playable character cast, and we've only got a handful in the game confirmed at the moment from people in the community that have filled in a character form. But over time, because this is a very long ongoing project, I'm sure people will get the 500 raindrops and end up being some of the other classes, and maybe in the very far future they'll all be taken, and that'll be super exciting. I love the idea of having 30 classes in the game, and a sort of party choice system where the player sees all the classes and picks the ones that they want. And there's a bit of strat involved in that, choosing which classes you're going to bring in as the game gets more and more, based on what dungeon you're in. Like, maybe don't bring the vampire to a place where there's only rocks, because they don't have blood. Unless the vampire is a special accessory that makes them somehow absorb the life essence from rocks. We haven't kind of decided how the vampire is going to be handled yet. But I do like having the realism with the vampire. I kind of want to go the route where she's only useful against humanoid, meaty, blood-filled creatures and animals and humans. But we'll see. Damage numbers are easy to tune down the line once everything functions. Yay! You can tune a fish, but you can't tune a piano or something. Oh, is that a saying? I haven't heard that one actually. You learned something new. I'm gonna have to get some almond milk soon, guys, because I'm getting hungry. It's the time of the day where I start getting peckish. But I want to get these skills implemented first. So increase attack and defense by 25% for 3 turns. Okay, so let's think of the easiest way to get this implemented. I hope we're not going to get lag. because we did increase the database. As you can see, we've got 8k skills here, and it seems that it is causing a tiny bit of lag, and it kind of made me think maybe we should not have 8k, but you know, I like having that cushion just in case we end up with a ton of skills, because surprisingly Everbloom Forest, we've like almost, we're getting to 100 skills just from that place alone, and that's quite scary because that's just one dungeon, and that's just the enemies as well. I don't think 2k is enough for a very beefy RPG. It probably isn't enough. But who knows, 2k is a big number, but you can soon get through them. But anyway, here we are. Let's just switch to this screen so you guys can actually see the pop up. Adrenaline can be called adrenaline rush since you get a rush of adrenaline. Oh, I think there was another skill called rush, and maybe that's why we didn't call it that. I think, was there a vampire skill called rush? I'm just gonna have a peek now actually, because I'm curious. Let's go across. Yeah, this is probably why we didn't call it, because we got a skill called rush which gives a bonus turn, and we can rename that. I'm not totally against giving the skills different names if we think of something more appropriate, but that was the first thing that came into my head for that one. Okay, so back to here. Oh yay. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, if feel free to give suggestions if you feel there's a good name. Does adrenaline work though? It still fits, right? As long as it's not flawed or anything like that, then I won't be keeping it. I do like it, and I think it's appropriate. Okay, so I'm looking for the increase. Here we go, attack. So 3 turns did we say? But it doesn't let us increase it to what we want to increase it to. So that's a problem. Just like a buff, and so maybe there's another way to do this. Maybe there's another way and I'm just being silly and I'm not realising it. Adrenaline sounds like a buff skill to me. Oh yay, well it kind of is. It is a buff, isn't it, I guess, so we're good. We're good, I think. Hi Julia, no, not Red crying again, oh no. I hear the FF14 music in the background. I know, I'm kind of like playing this all the time in streams, because it gets you, well this track in particular gets you hyped up. Well, gets your adrenaline going. Because we're working on adrenaline now. So I need to figure out how to increase the attack. I've done it there, except this way we can't increase it to our liking. So we're going to have to think how to do it another way. Let's just read what this tooltip says. It does say there's a 25% fluctuation. And that happens to be the number we're increasing it by. That's just a coincidence. But we don't want to be like tied down to that number in case we want to change it. You could call it strength boost because of adrenaline coming out of your adrenal glands. Short and sweet name to the point. What, strength boost? Well, it's a defense boost as well, don't forget. Maybe adrenaline should add the health. We don't want to make it do too much though, because then it's too, I think attack and defense alone does good. And I mean, there's no reason why the warrior can't have a heal, but maybe I feel for a first skill, healing would be a bit too premature to introduce for the warrior, because this is the very, 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 very first skill on the skill tree. So your standard attack and defense are increasing. I think that's a fair one. Alexander music is legit though. It's good, isn't it, Dave? Are you still playing Final Fantasy 14 at the moment? I was. I played through Shadowbringers, but I've unsubbed now. But I'll sub again in the future when there's even more content. Keeper of the Lake. Oh yeah, Keeper of the Lake. In general, you wasn't an irritation stress really. I quite like that track. It never made me stressed. Level 50 dungeon. Was that? I forgot what track was playing now. I completely forgot which one it was. I assumed it was Keeper of the Lake because you guys said. Okay, so I'm gonna just have a peep at something. How does this work? Okay, normal attack. Okay, so we can do it like this, I guess. One sec. So increase by 25%. It doesn't let you do it for 3 turns. That's the thing. Damn, I'm so bad at doing skill stuff. I don't have a clue what I'm doing. Whenever I click on the other tab, it like lags. What will be max leveling game? Well, we're probably not going to have the traditional leveling system because it's flawed. Simply because we have a very a class system of a lot of classes, a lot of them that won't be introduced until mid-game or even end-game. And having levels kind of, you know, having like a level 1 occultist join us in episode 4 makes it seem underpowered. But yeah, if he was averaged out to what the rest of the party were, it could kind of defeat the point, because it's like, oh, but we didn't do that, we didn't level him up. So I don't know. I kind of like how Final Fantasy X do their sphere grids, because they don't have levels, they have sphere levels instead, and the progression is all done on the sphere grid. And I think for the nature of this game and the fact that we have a skill tree that works in a very similar way, it kind of makes sense to have that as our progression system in this game too, something similar. And yeah, it's an impossible question to answer max level or anything like that, because we just don't know. This is, again, it's improvised as we go along, and nothing endgame is going to be planned. It's one of the ones that are on main MSQ. So if you randomly queue into it, there's a good chance that nobody else knows what they're doing. Yeah. I'm not playing FF14 at the moment. Might pick it up as like Shadow. But oh, you haven't played Shadowbringers yet, Dave? As class system prevents you from leveling it down with the systems of preventing on class welfare. Lol. My tummy's rumbling. Okay, I'm gonna have to do a bit of research, I think. One sec, chat. I'm a bit of a noob when it comes to skills in RPG Maker, so I have to like find down the Google. I could have just stuck with the attack buff for 3 turns, but I didn't like how it didn't let me set my own percentage, so You're not done Stormblood either? Oh my god, Diver. Have you done Heavensward though? You're in for a wild ride, Dave. I'm just gonna say. Hi Fedora, welcome. Are those your game characters walking around by the screen? Kinda wanna know the dragon wearing the barbershop quartet's hat story. Oh, do you, Fedora? That's funny. I'll give you his character sheet right now so you can read it. It's a very interesting one, that one, I have to say. And yes, they are the characters in the game. So once you're a game character, guys, you're in the stream, your little character will be walking around. So here we go. Here is his character sheet. Feel free to have a read. He's a baddie. He's a baddie. It is Rex's character, Lolita's right. That's why I haven't got into it. I don't have the time for MMOs anymore, really. Hi, Pavi, how you doing? It's good to see you. And yeah, I don't have the time to dedicate to MMOs either. So I tend to just play Final Fantasy 14 for the story. Because I do think it's got a really solid story for a MMO, like really impressive. Better than some single player game stories, to be quite honest. So I literally just play it for that, and then I kind of unsub. Okay, so for now, I mean, there's probably a better way of doing this, but I can only think of doing it this way for now, adding the 3 turns for attack and the 3 turns for defense. And it does say, looking at the tooltip on my end, I don't think you can see it, chat, but I can. It says that it increases by 25%, and that is kind of what we've planned to have. So maybe it'll work this way, but if we want to change the percentage, we might have to implement it a different way. But that seems like that's all we need to do, and then that'll work. I always find I've forgot to set something up, but oh no, not on enemy. It's on the user. That's it. Always end up forgetting to change the scope, and then when I've done a play test, I realise. And we've got to pick a good animation for it as well, so we'll do that at some point. But let's get the rest of the skills set up first before we do that. Frenzy, 5% increased damage output, so that would be a forever increase, not one that only lasts a few turns. That it always stays that way. And is it a passive? It is a passive, isn't it? So maybe passives might have to be done different. I don't know. My brain is actually a bit melted at the moment. It is a passive, yeah. It's a passive, so... Frenzy's a passive, and all the other 4 skills are not passives. So, doing good. How are you? I'm doing good, Pavi. We're doing some warrior skills today. We're getting those put in, and then we're going to do Hunter and Vampire for the rest of the week. That is this week's goals. How are you though, Pavi? I'm glad you're doing good. Well, I hope your weekend treated you well too. Grabbed Heavensward when Square Enix is giving it away. Played that level. It's a very good expansion, Heavensward is. Shadowbringers is my favourite out of the 3 expansions though. Stormblood was a good one too, even though people say it's the weakest one. I don't think it's the weakest. It has one storyline in it that like brought me to tears, so it's obviously not weak. None of the other expansions have made me cry, so that's the only one that has. I didn't even cry at Shadowbringers, but I was very emotionally invested and very impressed. I'm back to once more to live. Welcome back, Storm Eagle. You got a scholar animal weapon? I got a black mage animal weapon back in the day, but that was like 4 years ago now when I got that animal weapon, because I used to do the main black mage, but I ended up not liking it that much after. I prefer samurai now. Out of all the classes, it suits me best. You was hearing it and see, yeah, that was the time when I was farming my animal weapon too. The Alexander ones. Had to do them like 50 times or something crazy. It felt like it anyway. Hi Leo RPG, welcome to the stream. What did I miss? Oh, we're just implementing the warrior skills at the moment, and I'm just thinking of the best way to get them implemented, because frenzy is a passive skill, 5% increased damage output. So it's once the player learns this skill, they forever have that 5% increased damage output. It's not actually a usable skill. So this one's very different to the other skills, so I feel like it has to be set up differently, seeing as it isn't an actual skill that's used in battle. It's a passive, and my brain's melted, so I don't know how to do it. But Warcry and Squish it will be a bit easier because they are active skills. I'm going to take a nap before work. Have a good day. Oh my goodness, have a good nap, Val. Naps are very necessary. Got the emotes. Oh, what emotes have you got? Elite. Oh, you can't show them us yet because they're waiting approval. Well, once they're approved, Elite, feel free to put them in this chat because I'd like to see. Getting closer, yay! I will be doing some more character sheets soon, maybe off stream though. We've got Fantasias to do and Juices to do. So, and there's also White Watts, but I'm going to put them to the side for the moment. Hello for those I didn't saw earlier. Welcome back, Akira. Hi, Doc. How are you doing? It's good to see you again. You having a good Monday, Doc? Okay, so we'll leave Frenzy for now just because I'm a bit like brain dead on implementing the passive skill, but Warcry. Shout to your opponent next time attack you for 1 turn. So this is literally a provoke taunt skill. Originally it did do some weapon damage as well, and I've kind of just made it a bit more minimal. We'll see how it works. We can always add the weapon damage afterwards if we feel it needs that extra thing. But I think the reason why I removed the weapon damage with this ability was because it's a shout. Jesus or your custom hero will stand on the spot and shout, and there'll be a little sound effect and animation we'll do with that. And I struggled to visualise how there would be weapon damage with that unless he was to throw the weapon or something. But and the shout could do damage, I suppose. The warrior's got a fearsome enough shout to damage the enemy. That's pretty badass, actually. Next turn, it will attack you for 1 turn. Okay, so a taunt and provoke. Let's think how to implement this. Okay, I'm scared to click the other tab now because of the lag we get when I click it. It's because we increased the database. Now we do unfortunately experience a bit of lag, and it's a little bit of a bummer. But it's just really necessary to increase this database. It makes me feel anxious only having 2k skills. I feel it's a bit limiting. But it only like lags for about 10 seconds and then we can use it again. Oh my goodness, Storm Eagle, you've got 500. Last took a bit of dive. My dad's had to go into hospital. He's on the mend, but still pretty bad. Oh no! Well, we have a channel in our Discord doc, and it's called The Shelter. And basically, that channel is for people to, if something's going on in life or something very stressful or heavy, that's probably heavy for stream, then you can go in there and we'll try our best to help out and just give you a bit of support. For anybody who wants to go in to talk about live stuff or anything that's bothering them, it's the ideal place in our Discord. I'm doing good though, Doc, and I do send you all my hugs and hope things get better. Just popped in before next visiting hours. Yay. Well, let us know, Doc, how things go. I'm doing fine. I hope our dad gets well soon. Yeah, for sure. Mark sends you his best as well. Okay, so taunt. Special effect. I've not done a taunt skill before, so I'm just like, okay, maybe I have to use a common event. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. There might be an easy way to do this. I'm going to do research anyway on any of the skills I'm not sure about, so but I'm going to do the easy ones first. Lower 15% of plant defense. Take that bit away for now. We'll add that if we feel we need to. Okay, so this one is an interesting one actually, because it's only going to be for plants. It used to be called Crush It, this skill, and we still do have Crush It, by the way. It's still a skill we're going to have, of course, but I've decided that Squish It would be best to learn first, simply because of the enemy types that are here in this forest. It's more relevant than armoured enemies. There's no armoured enemies here, and Crush It's more about armoured enemies. So they can learn Crush It when they get to later on in the skill tree, when there's probably armoured enemies in the game. So because of the strategic element to this kind of debuff, it's only against plants. We have to set it up so it only works against certain enemies, I guess. Because it's not going to lower everything's defense, only the plant-based enemies. So I was thinking how to get that to work too. Adrenaline's actually the most straightforward for sure out of all of them. Did I see a side battle system in this last time, and does that come as a default in MV if so, or a mod? Oh, it's a default. You get the option in MV to do a front view or side view battle system, so it's whatever is your preference. I like that you get the option. Okay, so I'm going to just find out how to... I don't know which skill to do first. Should we do them in order? So Friends is the passive skill. So I'm going to just... Noob question, how to do passive skills. Okay, so I think there's a plugin for this by the look of it. Yanfly. So maybe this is what we have to use. And here it is. This is auto passive states, but would that include like everything, including attack buffs, like damage increase? We'll see. Completely forgot you had it. It's MV Ace though. Ooh, is MV still on sale on Steam? Maybe it's gone off now. Maybe you'll have to wait for the next sale if you want MV. Ah, where'd it go? Where'd it go? I was reading that. There we go. Since RPG Maker V does not have passive state, let's install a plugin to fix that. Allows for having passives to work a working possibility. Cool. Since it's a very simplistic plugin, you can place this plugin almost anywhere on the plugin list. I like to do them in order though. You can add passive states to actors, classes, enemies, guild weapons. Yeah. Oh, cool. This is neat. And more passages and more. Yanfly is literally a hero. What would we do without these plugins? RPG Maker could be so damn basic if it wasn't for these plugins. Hang on, I want to see how that's done. You can use a passive note tag. Okay. I want to see more. I want to see it automatically active in and out of battle, hence the name. Okay, that's exactly what we want then. So I was like, how are we going to do this? How are we going to make it, you know, not an actual passive skill? And I'm so glad that we got a simple solution for this. Is that plugin still free? Hi Joseph, how are you doing? Yanfly now has recently there's a blog post, I think. There is a post, I don't have the link to it, but if you go on Yanfly's Patreon you can read all about it. But they're no longer free now because of recent developments. I'm a patron to Yanfly though, so I can get these plugins. If you download Yanfly before you get to keep them for free. Yeah, if you've already got them, but I don't have them, so I'm a patron and totally well. I mean, these are so just good quality plugins that you can't really complain, I guess. They make such a difference to a project. Right, so let's get honestly, I wouldn't know what to do if it wasn't for these plugins. Like, we'd have to be so basic with the Raindrop Chronicles. You would literally be so basic. It's made the game so much more. And thank you for that link, Storm Eagle. So if anyone's curious, Storm Eagle's put it in chat, and you can read all about it there. Passive states do not expire, nor can they be removed by an item or skill. They will always persist. You can give enemies passive states by giving. Yeah, I don't think we didn't use them for any of our enemies, funnily enough, but there was a way around them all. I think, yeah, we originally had some passive skills for the enemies, but we changed them. But it's a bit different with enemies, isn't it? Because they're all done on AI anyway. But for the actual player, it's important. We need this plugin. I hope we can remove the icons though. And I hope it does include other things other than stuff. Hang on, we'll see. Okay, we'll have to put the plugin in and actually see how it works then. So give me a sec, chat, because I need to actually open the I do have the folder somewhere. My goodness, my tummy is doing the biggest rumble it's ever done. I need a snack. So downloads. Battle plugins, I assume. Oh no, it actually isn't under the battle plugins. Oh, this one apparently is actually a free plugin, because Yanfly has got some of them, about 30 or 40 of them for free, and this one, the auto passive states, is actually one that is considered one of the free ones, so I just thought I'd let you know that. Okay, so I need to get the password, because there is a password on all these files. I got it in a notepad file somewhere. Okay, so that is in the folder now. I'm gonna go into RPG Maker and upload it. Auto passive state. Now I'm going to just find the position that this is. So I think it's there underneath weapon animation, looking at the page. I think that's the right place for it. Okay, cool. So let's have a look. Let's actually read it. I'll go on this screen. Passive states are states that are automatically active. You can think of them as, okay, I just need to know how to increase the attack forever and ever and ever. Okay, so it has to be a state. Ooh, you can actually have conditions. So it's like thinking the easiest way to handle an attack. It looks like they do it for HP and MP and... Oh, okay. Here we go. Passive condition stat above. Okay, HP. No. Hang on. What it's damage output, isn't it? I completely forgot. Yeah, it's damage. So it would be attack. Attack. I'm quite confused, if I'm honest. I need to get my head around this. It seems like I don't know if we need to. Okay, so I've got to get my head around this. I'm going to have to read it through and get a good grip of this plugin. Because at the moment, it seems to me you can only use states, but I'm going to look into it and see how it's going to be workable with our frenzy passive skill. But I might have a look into that off stream. We'll just have a look at our other skills first and we'll go back to that one. I do want to do a battle test and test adrenaline though and see if it actually works okay. But we got Warcry and Squish It. So Warcry is our provoke taunt. So I'm going to actually just find out how to best implement a taunt or provoke skill. So RPG Maker. Redbubble? I don't have a Redbubble store. I've got a Streamlabs store, if that's what you meant. Right, so... Streamlabs. I thought that's what you meant. Yeah, there's some cool stuff on there, isn't there? There's a link to it in the panels if anyone's wondering. Thank you, Joseph. Just wrote up my villainous goals from Raindrop Chronicles. Are we allowed to know, or are we going to have to wait for the secrets elite? Oh, you got mixed up. No worries at all. There's a plugin for Provoke, but surely this is something that can be done without a plugin. I'm going to have a bazillion plugins, if you know what I mean. And understand what Provoke do. Who is the artist that did it? It's in the panels in the info section. It has a link to his website. So, yeah, definitely have a look at his website. He's got loads of cool art on there. Villainous goal to make all cats bend to my will. Oh my goodness. That would be evil. We love to, yeah, they have a really cool comic book art style, so I definitely recommend that artist if you want a sort of comic book type of look to your art. Making a lot of progress today. Hi Kia, welcome. Hope you're having a good Monday. I don't know if I'd say I'm making progress today. We're implementing the skills, but they're actually quite a challenge to get working, but everything always is when you're first working out how to do something. But it's been all streams are always fun, even if we ramble and don't get much done. And I'll be doing some stuff tonight anyway. I'll get these skills implemented tonight if I don't finish them on stream anyway. I can't believe it's already 5:30 p.m. Time just like flies by, and then you're like, oh my goodness, I've done nothing. I hope you're doing well, Kia. Okay, so I'm So yeah, apparently Yamfly's got a plugin for taunt. Do we need a plug? Do we really need a plugin for this? I'm kind of hoping we don't, but it seems that we're gonna have to use another Yanfly plugin for this. So let's just have a peek again. Let's go back onto Yanfly's thing and Taunt. Yeah, there we go. Taunt has become a mainstream game mechanic. So this is basically what we're gonna need, I think. We'll see. It does fly, it really does. It's only 12:30. Oh, so you're 5 hours behind me. I'm in the future for you. Hi Slay, how you doing? Starting to learn RPG Maker and V. I was just sitting to figure out this problem. You looking at myself before? Fun I look at you figure. Oh, you were trying to sort this out too. That it's funny, isn't it, when you've got a skill idea in mind and you're like, how is this going to be implemented then? And then you're like, oh, Yanfly's got a plugin. 90% of the time, it's always Yanfly that's got the solution. What a hero. Okay, so. Oh my goodness me, thank you for that tier 1 sub. Thank you very much. Can we have some hype in chat, guys, for that sub from Kia? I appreciate the support, my friend. Thank you very much. And now you can use our bat emotes. I hope you like them. And you get double raindrops in chat now as well. Congrats. You're Moogle Plush. Yeah, it's so cute, isn't it? He's my little mascot. He's a bat himself. Look, Mog's a secret bat. So it's very fitting because I'm the bat girl. Thank you for the hype, everyone. Right, Rose, you need taunt. Oh, crap, I need to get ready for stream. You can go taunts with that. Oh, you can. See, I seen, from what I saw, the only solution was a Yamfly plugin for taunt, but that's interesting. I'm glad there is a way to do it, Elite. I can look into it. I feel like it'll be useful to have this plugin anyway. I kind of want that all of the Yamfly library, you know, of the game, have the whole of the library, because yeah, they're cool plugins. But I'm still intrigued how to do it though. But obviously, if you're in a rush, Elite, it's fine. I totally understand. You don't have to sit and type it all out to me. And thank you for the hype. Moogle, yay! Everyone loves Mog. Everybody, surely. Who wouldn't love Mog? There's only one person in this stream that comes in who doesn't like Mog. I'll never understand. Look for target rating traits. I'll show a quick screenshot in Discord. Thank you, Elite. Yeah, I'll have a look at that. Tell me when you've sent it and I'll have a peek. But I'm still going to just watch his video because I'm curious. Yeah, that skill in Final Fantasy X is basically what I did have in mind for this, for our war cry. I wonder what this offers that the vanilla taunt doesn't. I'll keep this tabbed up because I'm going to look at what Elite's suggested and see that one first. But I'll keep that tabbed up just in case we're going to use that too. Just got it, KK. Gotta finish this couch and good. I can't wait to have your character in our game, Elite. It's another antagonist and it sounds like it's really going to shake things up with Raindrop Chronicles and might even potentially be somebody that the whole story, overarching story, will be based on, but we'll see. We'll see. Hi, Legmog. Oh my goodness, what a lovely poem. How are you doing, Legmog? I hope you had a good Monday. I'm also using RPG Maker and V to make a game, so your vids help me learn, hype up for that. Awesome, thank you, Kia. That's really cool. I mean, I honestly feel like a big old noob sometimes, and I wonder how it's possible I can help people learn. But, you know, it's still, you still do, I guess. I've learned a lot over the weeks and months of doing this, an awful lot, because I only really dabbled in it when I was about 12, 13, and I was too young to really get a grip and understanding of how the complicated things worked in RPG Maker. So I guess I kind of am learning from scratch in a way. Okay, Rose, I finished the character sheet and put the faces on Discord too. Awesome. Should we have a look? Have a look. I'm going to have a peep, but I'll hide it in case you don't want everyone seeing. Oh, well, you put it in the public Discord, so you obviously don't mind everyone seeing. That's awesome. He looks perfect. I like it. What a scary, scary villain. If anyone's curious, it's in the general chat of Discord. Elite has posted what he intends his character to look like. And thank you for that. It's Elite uses RPG Maker himself, so he decided he would make his character on the generator, which is totally fine to do. if you want to have full control over how your character looks like. Master Emerald, thank you so much for that raid. How are you doing, Master Emerald? How is everything going? I think we all feel like noobs sometimes, all of the times. If you're me, yeah, we all feel like noobs. Even the best of people who know exactly what they're doing feel like noobs, I bet. You can put the JSON in the regular folder for faces. Doesn't need to be hid. Okay, thank you, Elite. I'm looking forward to making the character sheet. And is the form all submitted and stuff as well? Because I'll have a peek at that later. And welcome to the Discord as well, Aqua Waifu. He looks like one to not be messed with. I love the moustache. I love it. Very villainous indeed. Okay, so welcome. I'm going to say welcome to Aqua. And feel free to join our Discord, everybody. If you kind of really like what we do here and you're interested in Raindrop Chronicles and keeping up to date with how you're getting on, it's the best place to be, really. Twitter's also a good place to be because I usually post up any news and updates. I post the character sheets on Twitter too when I've done them. I'm a noob. I bet you're not a noob. Bet you none of you are noobs. Did the formal submission too? What was the Raindrop threshold for submitting a character? 500. You've got them, Dava. Dave has been here for a bazillion years. I remember I had to just switch your raindrops from your old Dava account to your new one. Yay. You can check it with this command. Yeah, the raindrops command will tell you everything. And Master Emerald. Let's see what Master Emerald was doing today. You were doing some science and technology too, Master Emerald. Tell us about it all. And have you been doing NaNoWriMo? I know I've got a friend, Special Stream Cannon, who I play D&D with, who also has been doing NaNoWriMo, and he says it's very, you know, it takes up all your time and he's really busy. It must be so stressful. I'm hoping my goal will help to tie things together. Yeah, once you told me about your character and the kind of idea you had for him briefly the other stream, I was like, oh, this is really gonna flesh the plot out. It's really gonna add a lot of potential. Like I say, our main overarching story could easily be based on your villain, because I do want to kind of think of a basic way to have sum up Raindrop Chronicles, like have an overarching plot and like sum it up in a sentence or two maybe, because if anybody asks, oh, what's Raindrop Chronicles about, I can say then, oh, it's a story where so and so blah 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 blah. And now, because we don't have that plot at the moment, it's still very much up in the air what the whole game story is about. We have like a bit of details with some of the races and a little bit of lore, but it's not, you know, it's all just bits at the moment. Fell off Nano, trying to catch up now. Yeah, honestly, it must be such a challenge. I admire anyone that does it, for sure. Wait for Rose to show it. The suspense will kill me. Wow. We will definitely expect it in the coming, well, I'm not going to give a date because it's honestly it's a challenge to balance things at the moment. We got the game, the website, character sheets, but as soon as possible I will get Elite's character sheet done, and it'll be put up on Twitter. That'll be the place where it'll be. It'll also be on Discord. I usually put the list of characters here once there's a completed character sheet. And I'll announce on stream as well when it's done. And I mean, I've sometimes done character sheets on stream, but I kind of have committed this week to doing the player skills. But if anybody ever wants me to do their character on stream and really wants that, they can request that, and I will set a stream aside for it. But some people don't mind. They're like, nah, you can do it off stream if you want. So if you don't mind, then I will do it off stream. But of course, if you want me to do it on stream, then feel free to say. But yes, if Elite wants to say, he is totally welcome to tell you what he's put in his form in chat. He can do that if he wants. I will not refuse if he wishes to tell you. But if he wants to keep it a secret, then he can totally can as well. Rose, I am nearing the 500 and I want to make a more custom character. Buy a sheet with more info. So, can I make it as then get fired up in a story or character I can't stop? How do you mean, Storm Eagle, when you get fired up you can't stop? I just want to make sure because just fill in the form with anything you want. Make it as long as you want. If you've got a really long thing, just type it all up. I don't, because we have, for example, we got Kindle Trashes here. She has really gone all out with her character sheet, and she like wrote like all this for. So you know what I mean. You can make a really long one if you want. You can even make one longer. I don't mind increasing the size, even though I might like just shorten a bit if I feel it needs to be shortened. So you can literally make it as detailed or as brief as you want to. Some people have got a more brief character sheet, and that's fine too, like that, if you don't want to put anything or just a couple of sentences. But you can also make it detailed too. Just there's no character limit on the form for what you want to say. Haven't completed Nano for a long time because November for the past few years has been chaos. Yeah, it's a really funny month, isn't it? Because it's just before Christmas as well. I feel like they need to pick another month in the year for that, for the writing competition. I'm surprised that character sheets are more. It's all I've been doing for like 2 months. I already know, kinda. What do you mean more popular, Joe? He just wants to enslave all the cats, all the Neko race. Is that who you mean by the cats, or the felines? We kind of have half cat people and the full cat people. Like Azriel here, the blue kitty, he's like a full-on feline, and then we've got like characters like Silent and Lost who have just got the cat ears, but the rest of them is human. Now the Nekos. Like a giant word file. Oh my god, I will say if you want to make, if it's going to be huge, then what the ideal thing to do is probably what Azriel and Akira did. Akira did this for Legion, his character. He made a Word doc. And he put all his info here, like there's pages and pages of it. Well, not pages, but there's about 3 or 4 pages. And Azriel did the same thing as well. He's got a little backstory doc. So basically, if you want to do pages and pages of it, put it in a Google Doc or something and put it on here for us to read. But for the actual character sheet, probably not pages and pages, but you're allowed a few paragraphs if you want to put in there. But when we have the website, all this stuff, like for example, if you've got a doc, the website there will be more detail on there. Like you'll have your character sheet on the website, but I'll also go into more depth on the website too. So that way it will officially be out there for people to see more clearly. When the website's up and running. Legion have a custom race, by the way, so Storm, just go in your imagination. Yeah, as long as it's possible in RPG Maker, then it's doable at the end of the day. Can't believe Thanksgiving is right around the corner. I know, yeah. We don't do it here in the UK. I wish we did, though. But I hope you all have a lovely Thanksgiving. Love writing stories and bio making battle systems and skills. I read a whole book, manga in theory, by Araki, the maker of JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. Kind of took his advice each time make a new character. Yeah. And yeah, totally make a doc. Like, fill in the form, like summarise your character in the form. And then if you want to really go into depth, then write a doc and expand on what was in the form. That is totally cool, because that's basically what Akira and Azriel did. And I'm gonna, when I make the website under the character section, I'll probably like use those docs to just add that information on the website. Hi Juice, how are you doing? It's good to see you. How are you today, Juice? Legionnaire story is discovering loyalty quest done. Yeah, Kira's even written Legion's quest, because just so you know, some people might not know, but every single character that's a community character will sort of have their own quest line. Some of those quest lines might be just a couple of quests. Some of them might go on a bit more than a couple of quests. It all depends on the character. And they're all side quests, by the way. These character quests are. You're not forced to do them. They're all like part of the character's story, and if you wish to find out more about their history and backstory, then you'll get a special item for doing them now, so it's probably worth it. But some people are lazy players and just don't want to do the side quests. They just rush through it. And but there will be a lot of side quests in Raindrop Chronicles anyway, and character quests will be some of those side quests. So, and you have full control over your character's quest line, by the way. You just do a doc, type up what you want that quest to be about, and whenever your character's in the game and at the right point in the story, then we will make that quest line. Doing good, how about you? I'm doing good as well, Juice. And hi Liquid as well, how are you? Okay, so what were we doing? Oh yeah, the taunt thing. Is it here? Okay, so let's have a peep at this that Elite's just sent us. Okay, so it's an SP perimeter thing, target rate, and it's a state, I say. Target rate 1000%. Oh, 1000%, not 100. Cool, so that's actually easy. I wonder why there is a plugin for it then, if it's possible anyway. So all we need to do is just make that taunt state, and that's pretty straightforward by the look of it. And at the moment I think we have it set up for 1 turn, but we'll have to do some battle testing and balancing and see if we feel 1 turn is enough, or if we should increase it or keep it like that. We only know when we do all the battle balancing parts. So states, so we can increase, we can put it here. So taunt, red idea, that's basically a state that changes the digger's eye colour from black to red because it's for a counter attack. And I thought it was a pretty neat mechanic for an idea, and it works. I got it working. The only problem is there's a little missing frame when the red deer changes state for the first time. When it does it again, it's fine, but it's always that first time there's like this missing frame. And I thought it was something to do with an image cache thing. And I downloaded a plugin for it, but it still hasn't fixed it. So that's a weird little bug I'm in the middle of trying to sort out at the moment. So what is the general story so people can tie in when they make their character? Well, that's another thing I was just talking about actually, Van. I was mentioning how in the next week or so, I want to start, well, probably by the end of the month or December, definitely before Christmas, I want to have an overarching plot sort of idea for Raindrop Chronicles, at least be able to describe in a sentence or two what the story is about, because we currently don't have a sort of plot. We do have a bit of lore and race detail, like we know that the reptiles are the antagonists, we know that the reptiles caused a massacre in Lakefall, and there's a few little bits of details from the character sheets as well that have introduced a bit of plot and lore, but we need something to sum it up, that overarching plot, what it is about, and that's something we'll be considering for sure. And Elite's character is going to help us decide that, because his is another antagonist, which is a pretty big deal. When he gave me a brief description of it, I was like, whoa, this is our plot. I was like, this is probably going to be our plot. So once we do his character sheet, that will probably be the time when we start having an overarching plot idea. But if you just want to think of ideas for your character, have a look at other people's character sheets, see what they've written, and maybe that'll give you a little bit of inspiration. Because the characters so far that we've got have kind of set a few things in stone, like for example the reptiles being the more oppressed race of Raindrop Chronicles. But you have freedom to kind of make them their own person, and you can create a faction yourself as well from your character. Like if you for example have pick a dwarf character, and you're like, they live underground and they're part of this sort of thing that's going on, you're welcome to create that sort of story yourself, for sure. But if you would rather wait to see what the overarching plot's going to be before you come up with your character, that's totally fine as well. I'm in the middle of making a website. I want to launch it either before the end of the year or the very, very beginning of the new year. That's kind of the goal. And that website is going to literally be a place of information. And when you go on it, the goal is for people to understand immediately what the story's about, what the races are like, and who the characters are, and get all that info from there. And that way all your questions will be answered. So how many raindrops to earn a character? Yeah, the project command will tell you everything, Liquid. So I'll just pop that in chat now for you to read. Would you consider it cheeky to give certain magic target rate percentage? I have no idea, Kia. I say you do whatever you think is right. And I'm a bit of a noob when it comes to percentages and battles anyway. So I'm no pro. It's definitely Elite and Storm Eagle that will know. They'll be able to help out when it comes to battles and numbers. Late start, I might not be able to get enough time. You don't think so? Very untrue. This, just so you know, guys, this project is not going to be over any time soon. A very, very long term. By long term, I mean years. So you'll definitely get raindrops within years, for sure. This is nothing that's going to be over in a couple of months at all. It's going to be a very long ongoing RPG. That is the main reason we plan to do it episodic. Because if we weren't doing it episodic, you'd be waiting a hell of a long time for a game to play, chat. You would. So episodic's perfect for what we're doing. Mine is going to be an antagonist too. Yeah, we're gonna end up with a lot of antagonists in this game because I'm not putting a limit. I'm not putting a limit on the playable characters, and I'm not putting a limit on antagonists. And that might seem a bit wild because it's like, whoa, we could potentially end up with like dozens of antagonists. But Raindrop Chronicles there's going to be a lot of factions in our game. There's going to be a lot of villains, and you're going to meet tons of factions in many different towns and villages over the course of the game. And you'll meet different villains. Some will be start game villains, some will be mid game villains, some will be end game villains. They'll all be spread out, and you'll discover them at different times in the story. Some might not even be main game villains, some might be a side quest villain. There's going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot of characters. Look forward to seeing me in 8-bit form. Yay! I am too. If I do a character, it'll be an axe-wielding drunk with healing magic. That sounds cool as well. I mean, well, axe-wielding, that's kind of already taken by our warrior, but you don't have to be a playable character. Major NPCs and minor NPCs exist as well. And Kung's character's a hunter. Like, even though we've already got the hunter taken, she's still a hunter, but she's not playable. She's just a character that we meet to assist us. Well, will give us some quests to do and stuff. Don't remember the command. Want to show how fast I got them. Raindrops, that's it. And Juice's, oh my god, already got 1,000. And Juice's character's another that's going to have a character sheet coming up as well. So keep your eyes peeled. So the first episode, any rough idea on when that will be available? 2020, spring or summer, as an estimate. And you know what game development's like. Sometimes you can't put an exact time on it because things pop up, but say spring, summer for the meantime is an idea. But that might change when the time comes if we feel we need to flesh it out a bit more or add a bit more to make it perfect. But that's an estimate for now. I'm a merchant, so yeah, potentially 6 months on average maybe for the first episode. We'll see how it goes and how things are come 6 months from now, and then we'll be able to make a more solid decision about episode 1. I want to be a rock. Yay! That sounds cute. Rocks are cute. I mean, Geodude's cute. From Pokemon. Already sounds overpowered. I love that shark emote, by the way. Are you doing Steam? As in have the game on Steam? It's not like straightforward to get on Steam. I think you need to like apply for green light and things, and I'm not sure. Like Raindrop Chronicles is going to be free to play, and it'll be available on some platform or another to download. But that decision hasn't been made yet. Which platforms? But once episode 1 content is done and we get to the testing stage and all that, we'll start thinking about things like that then. But maybe I'll have to think about things a bit earlier, because maybe there's an application process that lasts months and we'd have to do it well in advance if so. But I'll start looking into that, because it'll probably be a good idea. The rock doesn't really look like a cat. I'm back, forgive me, I had to do something. No, you totally can do whatever you want, Neffel. There's nothing to forgive. Might not be best for free-to-play. Some free-to-play games are on Steam. Doki Doki's one, yeah. That was an amazing game. I love Doki Doki. It really just hit off, didn't it, Doki Doki? If anyone here hasn't played Doki Doki Literature Club, then I say that it's one that you should put on your list of games to play for sure. Okay, also, because there was I've just realised to make sure you all know that you have to choose one of 8 races for your character, and so that's the only thing you're tied to, being one of the 8 races. And if you wanted to like have something really bizarre like a pet rock or something like that, you can always make your character have that rock as a pet, or make them have some like assistant who is some bizarre creature. Like, that's a way of overcoming the race limit. We only have that race thing in place just so, because otherwise it's impossible to make certain things in RPG Make. You know, there is limitations to a certain extent. Like if somebody says, I want to make a flying unicorn character that has a bazillion horns and like, you know what I mean, something that's impossible to actually have, then, but well, you know, most things are doable if you're creative. But thank you, Thought, for the follow. I appreciate that. Okay, so where we do? Oh yeah, taunt skill. So I've got that screenshot that Elite has sent, and I think it was really easy. I think all we have to do is it target rate. Have a peep what it was. Yeah, it was target rate. Why is it got to be 1,000% and not 100 then? I'm curious. So now we'll keep it as that. A vampire race? Well, That's the funny thing, because Rose is a human. She's a vampire, but she's a human. So vampires actually don't exist as a race. Vampires are actually human in Raindrop Chronicles. They're kind of changed to vampire through magic and sorcery. They're not actually born vampire. So that's one thing as well. But if you read Rose's character sheet, you'll find out about that. So it's a strange thing. It's not actually considered a race. Rose walls out the sunlight in the forest. Rose instantly dies. Yeah, and that's another thing. Rose is totally fine with sunlight. She doesn't fit that trope. Our vampires don't melt in sunlight. They're too badass for that. But Rose is a funny vampire. She's a strange one because she's very feral. She's not got a charming bone in her body like most vampires have. I suppose she's got her own charm, if you can call a feral beast charming. But yeah, I would totally be for more vampires being in this game, like as faction characters and potential antagonists, because there is like an option for a storyline there with the fact that Rose was turned into a vampire through like form of sorcery is going to definitely be part of her story, I assume. And who knows, maybe she'd meet other vampires along the way. They are like Twilight vampires. Feral beasts can be charming, lovable. Just look at tomcats. Exactly, charming in their own way, but she's not like you know how some vampires have this elegance about them, like Rose isn't that kind of vampire. She's like a beast. But I think that's better. I think that's much more likable. Lots of choice, yeah. And like honestly, if you're stuck or you don't know what route to go for, reading the character sheets is definitely the best thing to do to help inspire at the moment, because you basically will get an idea what people have decided for races and a bit of lore. But you do generally have freedom. I mean, for example, we have 2 antagonist reptiles at the moment, but who knows, maybe there's a nice reptile character someone might want to make. If you want to be a reptile, don't feel you have to be a bad reptile just because the only reptiles in it so far are bad. You can make an okay reptile, because things aren't like that black and white in this game where all reptiles are going to be bad. Like, you know, there'll be cities where reptiles live that maybe are nice people and different types of actions. Like some of the race might be bad, some of the race might be good elsewhere in another town or city. So you've got freedom. You don't have to feel tied down to be like another character or anything like that. Careless Rex and Chub Cheeks are reptiles, they are, and they're both baddies as well. But we've kind of had a little brief discussion that maybe there's more to it. These reptiles, maybe they are sympathetic in their own way because they are an oppressed race, and maybe we can get an understanding of them and why they're angry. Maybe they have been unfairly treated and they deserve our sympathy. I definitely think it's not going to be that black and white with them for sure. And hi Rex. Oh my god guys, I've just realised it's like after 6. Who wants to join in a raid with me? Because we have to end stream now. I will just let you know before we finish. Tonight, before tomorrow's stream, I'm just going to get these skills implemented and working. And then tomorrow we'll work on Hunter maybe, or Vampire. I'm not sure which one yet, but whichever one gives us, makes us think of some skills faster. And then we'll work on the other one the day after. So yeah, I am excited, and we'll get them put in the skill tree as well, because that's another thing we have to do, but we might save that for Thursday's stream, the actual skill tree implementation. Okay, so I'm gonna give the raid command. see you next time. Yes, I am back tomorrow, everybody. I'll put my schedule up. Just so you know, I stream Monday to Thursday. If anyone here is new and is curious when to see me. So I'm going to see who is online today, because I always like to go drop us off at night. I have to go for my dinner soon, but I always like to at least drop us off somewhere if we got time. And I do appreciate it if you joined me. Bye. Let us know if you need suggestions. Yeah, okay, so turn off the music now because I'm not going to hear anything otherwise. Okay, so I'll see you guys tomorrow, and I'm just gonna, there's loads of people online. I'm trying to figure out who to say hi to today. Okay, I'll give you a choice: Pokemon or Final Fantasy 14 chat. Pick a game and we'll raid the one that's playing that game. Pokemon or Final Fantasy 14. Oh my goodness, Rex picked Final Fantasy 14 over Pokemon. That is a twist I didn't expect. Okay, so that is Vari Matsu, who is literally a very huge fan of Final Fantasy 14. You don't want to be spoiled. That's very fair. That's a very good point, Rex. So we'll go drop ourselves off at Vari's stream. Super friendly person. Helped me when I started playing Final Fantasy 14. And we should go say hi. So I will see you all tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. You're all the best. I appreciate you all.